legacy that's long. That's the legend of the Armstrongs. Questions get answered, oh, you didn't know? Let's start the show.
But a call. Oh, sorry. Sorry. It's just muscle memory. The only muscle I have that works anymore.
I'm your host, Casio, and that is the Road Dogg, Bryan James.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, I don't know
what do you doing listening to this show?
I don't know what to tell you, because, yeah, you should know by now.
People call you Road Dogg Bryan James more, or Road Dogg Jesse James?
I don't know. I just came up with Jesse a long time ago, Jesse James Armstrong.
Yeah.
The New Age out. That's what I was in Memphis, USWA, the New Age outlaw, Jesse James Armstrong. And I thought, oh, that's a mouthful, but it's really cool. Anyway, I don't even know what we're talking about. How are you doing, Casio? Last time we talked, I asked you about how your ribs were doing because you had fallen down the prior to the week times we talked before that. Are you still in pain, or are you doing better now?
Doing better. Pain is only at sneezing, coughing, laughing, and if I try to lay on it. So,
yeah.
Lay on that
what?
Side.
Oh,
that side. Yeah.
Roger that. I didn't know what you're talking about laying on.
Well, you know, if you lay on the wrong thing, it's bad, no matter what it is.
Ooh, wake up and appendages are asleep. Hey, so what are we going to talk about today on The Real?
On The Real, well, we got a lot. We got our regulars. We got our Thankful Minute. We're going to end with. We got Top Dog. We're going to end with. Our meat is Backlash 2018. Where you're producing
there's some meat on that bone.
There is some meat on that one. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that meat. A lot of meat. I want to tell you, that top row looks thicker than the bottom row. I mean, they got a lot going on.
I was trying to look at it.
A lot of meat going on there.
Yeah, a lot of
Roman.
Nia,
Braun.
Yeah, Roman, Strowman, Seth,
Bray.
and Bray, and Nia, and
Bobby
Alexa,
Lashley.
and Bobby Lashley.
Rude.
Yeah, but we had. What we had was the talent. We had the heart, and we had the grit and the wherewithal to know within the bottom. Anyway, I don't know. We just were going to be the fun little wrestling show. And I thought we did that well.
I need your help as well, because you are in a wrestling family, dog.
Yep.
And this is, by the way, happy May the 4th be with you. It's Star Wars Day.
Is that what today? You know what? Today is my brother Scott's birthday. May the 4th.
Happy birthday to you,
Mr. Scotty Bread. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Scotty Pants. I don't know.
Scotty Pants.
I don't know. He's old. Bless his heart.
Is that what y'all have always called him, Scotty Pants?
No. That's what he pays people to call him. It's weird. He's into weird stuff.
Are you a Star Wars guy?
No.
Not at all?
Because I honestly say Star Trek, 73% of the time I mean Star Wars. That's how offensive and wrong I am.
Do you like Star Trek?
No. I like it a lot less. Because when but I did wrestle Captain Kirk. So we have 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
You know, 2 weeks ago I talked to him.
I heard. Did
y'all? And he was fantastic.
Yeah, he's sharp as a tack, and what a wealth of knowledge, man. He's been kissing green chicks when color TV wasn't even in color yet. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he has a line ready for everything you say to him. He's ready to go.
He's Hollywood, man. He's old school Hollywood, and that's. I guarantee you people wish they had old school Hollywood back where actors could just go in front of a camera and carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. I don't know the words.
Lay your weary head to rest.
Don't you cry no more. That was a good song. You were spot on.
We got. Well,
you were. It sounded like the deadgum radio was on.
I need the hang in there poster behind me with a black light. You know, the kittens hanging off the tree. I need all that. A little prog rock on you. So, Scotty Armstrong's B-Day.
Yep.
We've learned a lot.
I honestly think I'll be, May 20th, I'll be 54, and he's 8 years older than me.
That's your birthday, May 20th?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to make the party because I was going to actually bring up another event on May 20th. My wife is making her wrestling debut.
No way.
Yeah.
You swear?
I swear. Local
May the
indie
20th.
promotion here in Huntsville. She's going to be in their Rumble.
Has she
and-
been training?
She's been training and putting together the Rumble for him is our mutual friend, Mr. Sin Bodie,
No way.
who was in the...
Sin Bodie. I just wrote that song, by the way. Just you know what?
Thought it was his intro music.
Sin Bodie literally sends me text of just like links to hilarious and weird and sometimes disgusting and all these things. And when I see it's him, I just know, like, okay, what am I going to open and see?
What's about to happen?
What's about to happen to my phone and my eyeballs?
By the way, checks out for his character.
Oh, it
He
does.
is
It's
disturbing
perfect.
and
Yeah.
weird, and
yeah,
yeah.
it's perfect. But good. She's in good hands.
Yeah.
She's in good hands. Well, good.
So that'll be May 20th.
Man,
When you're
that is-
celebrating your birthday, know this, I'll be watching my wife wrestle.
You know what? I think the truth be told, on that day also, and I don't know who the concert is, but we are going. We as a family, my youngest daughter and my wife and I and her boyfriend, not my wife's boyfriend, my youngest daughter's boyfriend. My wife's boyfriend's out of town that week. But we're all going to Orlando for a concert. And
Who is it?
I don't know. If only there were some way that somebody else other than us could look on a device or something and find out who is in Orlando around May 20th or 21st or 22nd or 19th or anything like that. I don't know, but maybe if that, in the future. if
Blues
that were to
Clues
happen.
and You.
Well, it's not that one. It's not Blues Clues. It's not Blues Clues. They're
I
not doing
Googled
that.
it, and that was the first thing that came up.
It's either like rock, like a old school rock, or it's with them. There's no telling.
Is it?
I don't know. I'll find out. Oh, you know what?
Is it in your
No,
calendar?
just keep talking.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see my wife going to be in her first Rumble. Is a Rumble a good event to start in if you're a wrestler? I feel like it is because you can kind of get lost.
So you can and you can hide a little bit.
Yeah. So that's what.
But I also want to know what kind of Rumble is it? Are they literally running in every 2 minutes? Is it all starting
Yes.
in the ring?
All coming in at Pelini's in Orlando too.
Who is?
Pelini. I think it's a sandwich maker. I think he makes Pelinis.
Okay.
See, he's seeing everything I'm seeing. Well, let's go
know.
20. It's got to be the 21st. Maybe y'all going down on your
I don't
birthday.
even know. Look, it is the Hunchback of Notre Dame. I think.
Is it in Orlando for real?
I'm not sure.
Are you going to see Tony Orlando?
I may have made that all up.
You did. Now,
I could have, and now you called me on it, and there's facts being pulled out. No, that tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree.
oh,
If you still want me. No, I'm not going to see Tony Orlando or Dawn. It's a different concert. I've texted my wife, but she was leaving, going to the gym. so I
Bad
don't
Bunny
know.
tribute dance night.
God, no, we weren't going to that, but we are now. I can tell you that much.
Backseat Lovers waiting to spill world tour.
I don't know. Who is
I
that?
feel like you're lying to us. There's nothing going on in Orlando.
At some point, I'm going to get a text back, hopefully during this broadcast, and I'll just scream it at you. It'll just be
scream
out
it.
of nowhere and out of context.
Well, I can't wait to hear that it's not in Orlando.
Well,
my
you might be right.
I'm looking at the list of
It could be-
Ticketmaster Orlando, and
Atlanta.
none of them you're going to.
No, none of them. Well, I'm gonna let you know. Let's change the subject because this is
Okay.
going nowhere fast.
We got a lot going.
Orlando.
We've learned a lot here. We've learned you don't have any idea where you're going and when you're going.
Yeah.
Scott's birthday today. May the 4th be with you.
Happy
You hate
birthday.
Star Trek and Star Wars.
So I want to go get back to that first
Okay.
briefly. I don't hate either one of them. I used to watch Star Trek because it was on a long time ago when I was real young on TV and there wasn't too many channels. But then I watched Star Wars when it first came out. I was cool with the first couple when they started going back in time, and that was like the
Prequels
first
and all that?
Yeah, my first introduction to prequels, and I'm like, I can barely follow the story you're telling now, and so I just lost track of it all.
But the first three you were in on.
Oh heck yeah! And I see the huge. I see how huge it is. I'm watching Bluey or whatever with my grandkids, and there's Jedi Warrior cartoons on Disney Network. You know what I mean? And it's little kids that are Jedis in training everywhere. And stuff. So yeah, I see the machine. Who's the guy? What's the guy's name that did it all?
Henson.
I'm drawing a
George
Lucas. Yeah, Lucasfilm. I think they own half of America.
Yes.
And 2/3 of China. But
I think they just merged with UFC and WWE, I believe.
Well, great. I'm sure they got a guy that can write live events. Damn George Lucas.
All right, so we learned a lot. This is a big opening segment for us. We had a lot going on.
I feel like it has been a lot going on, but should we talk about something of substance or no?
I mean, we can get to Backlash if you want to. My dogs are going crazy in the background.
You know what? They heard. They heard.
Did you hear them? You hear that?
I think that's in every episode we have. There's just dogs barking
it's my alarm. I'm supposed to take my pills.
It could be my phone ringing, to be quite honest. Everything around me sounds like dogs barking. Hey, yeah, let's.
We have a new segment.
Step, into the new segment.
New segment, meme of the week.
Did you say? Nude segment. I'm sorry.
We can do a nude segment. Yes.
Let me put this back on.
Well, you see, you have people like Sin Bodie in your life and others that send memes back and forth. That's your love language.
Yeah.
I do it with a bunch of my friends.
Me and him have a strange love language. I can assure you of that.
So we're going to get our producer Dominic to every week to begin the show throw up a random meme. Me and you have never seen it. We don't know anything about it, and we're going to throw it up, and maybe we'll get a little pop. And we'll move on, and we'll start us off on a good note.
I like to open it up with a chant like, Rando May May, Rando May May. Now he puts it up. You know what I mean? And maybe everybody's
Waffle House be like, we're open until letters fly off this sign. What does that mean?
I think that's if you can see the line of cars, that is during a hurricane.
Oh, the hurricane. Oh, okay. There you go. See, it took your Florida knowledge to get
that. It does take a little Florida wherewithal to go see the line of people leaving. That was never us.
That is a government official warning level. Is Waffle House level? They call to check Waffle Houses.
Yes.
Are you guys still open? They go, we got life. We're good.
Yep. Then it's instead of an F5, it's a WF5.
It's a
W8. I don't know.
And if nobody answers the Waffle House, they go, we got problems, guys. We have issues, and we're about to have Last of Us.
Hey, thank goodness though.
All right, let's get into some wrestling. Some of the people tune into this show for wrestling. I don't know how many, but
I don't know
some
why
of them.
either. I don't know how many tune in. Period. Let's be honest.
Plus, dog. In just 2 days, Backlash takes place in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Real quickly, stop me if you want to stop and say anything.
Okay.
We're going to run through the cards, get quick thoughts on it. Maybe.
And you said 2 days.
2 days from now.
Yeah, May the 6th. Yeah, you're right.
So 2 days from right now, and maybe 10 words or less on each match.
No, I can't make that promise.
Okay. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes taking on Brock Lesnar.
That's what I want to see. That's the one I want to watch. I want to see him climb the mountain.
Rhea Ripley defends her SmackDown title against Zelina Vega.
Look, Zelina Vega, in my mind, is this generation's Scrappy McGowan. So Rhea Ripley better watch your eyeballs.
Watch your eyeballs. Matt Riddle, he's back. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn all teaming together to take on that bloodline, my friends.
Yeah, this is a Sheamus certified banger right here. A good old 6-man. In the other companies, they say trios, but we say 6-man here. And they're going to have a heck of a one at Backlash. Excuse me.
And how about this when Austin Theory defends the U.S. title against Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley? That's two big men Austin Theory's getting in with, son.
Well, what I love to see is the heel really get outsized and outnumbered and then weasel his way out of it. So I want to see how he does it.
Bianca Belair defends the Raw title against Io Sky. Good matchup there.
Hey, the Empress of the Sky, I think is what they call her, man. And it is a good matchup. Two incredible athletes, and I've seen them go in NXT. This is on a larger scale, so they're going to let them all hang out. Man, I can't wait to see this match.
Io Sky is so good.
Yeah, so good.
Seth Rollins faces off against Omos.
Did you say he's almost 7 feet tall or
He's
more? No. So this one I want to see for the execution. I want to watch this match and see how it goes, but I definitely want to see it. And I say I would pay two. That's how I feel about this.
Two different styles completely.
Totally. And so I want to see these two gentlemen come together and see what happens. You know what I mean? And I believe they're going to give us something that none of us expected.
Love it. And finally, Damian Priest takes on Bad Bunny.
In
a street fight, my friend.
Man, Puerto Rico's own Bad Bunny has accepted and the challenge of a street fight with Damian Priest. Man, did you see Damian Priest chokeslam him on the announce table? He turned him inside out and upside down, and that table collapsed. And it just right then I thought, this dude's all in. You know what I mean? I thought Bad Bunny's, well, look, I also know what's going on behind the scenes with him, and he takes this, what we do, very seriously, and I'm excited to see, because it's always exciting to see, you know, especially when you see somebody like, holy mackerel, we saw him work before, and we know he's capable of doing this stuff.
Yep.
Then you see some like Logan Paul and some more guys coming in here and kind of, reinventing the wheel from an outside coming in standpoint, and so I'm interested to see how far he'll go, especially with the extreme stuff. You know what I mean?
By the way, Damian Priest is that guy. I feel like if you looked at the rest of the people on this card, it said, "Who we getting in a street fight with?" It's not Damian Priest. He looks like he's dirty, and you're like, that guy can fight. Don't mess with that guy.
Well, he's also about 6'6". You know what I mean? He's long as crap, and he stretches across the ring in like 2 steps. And so, I'm a huge fan of his, by the way, the human being and the character. I think there is nowhere to go but the sky with him. And so I'm interested to see, because his future is so bright. He got to wear shades.
Can't wait to see it, San Juan, Puerto Rico, in a couple days from this podcast. So
WWE's Backlash.
But we're going to check in right now at Backlash 5 years ago. We're coming off the Greatest Royal Rumble, which we covered last week, and there's only one SmackDown to build to the show. How difficult is that to navigate back then, Dog? You've got really just one SmackDown to build to Backlash.
Like 2-hour television show.
Yeah.
to build to
reset everything.
A premium live event, as we call them now. And so, it's challenging. Look, it's challenging, but we don't vote on, hey, what's the calendar? I don't think we should do it on that day. You know what I mean? The company decides what's best for the company, and then you get your marching orders, and there's your marching orders. And you can, you know what I mean? Like we're going to get it done. And so is it difficult? Heck yes, difficult. Is it ideal? Heck yeah, it's not ideal. But it's also not ideal to have like 7 weeks in between each PLE. You know what I mean? Like then it's, okay, dang, we got to tell 2 stories to get, you know what I mean?
Time here, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's very tricky, and it's, and it's not easy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing, is I love that, and I'm not fussing about this, it's just how it is, but people fantasy book, and they don't have to worry about the rules or the laws or the, you know what I mean, the confines of how much money we can spend or how much, you know what I mean? They just go, oh, they should put him versus him at so-and-so.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, but we got 52 more shows to do a year, you know what I mean, or whatever. So, you know, it gets taxing writing the shows, period. When you have a week to write for one PLE, yeah, it's taxing for sure.
Hey guys, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Need to call a timeout real quick here. I wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my world listeners for a while now. It's about all the incredible things happening over on adfreeshows.com.
An all-new edition of The Insiders is here, as Conrad welcomes David Saadi, the man behind so many iconic video packages WWF fans grew up on, including one that left Vince in tears.
You got it. And Conrad, I swear, I walked outside the studio, and Vince was sitting down on the concrete floor, crying hysterically, just saying thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. I went up to told Kevin, he says, good job, can't wait to see it. 15 minutes later in the stairwell, Vince is still sitting down in a different spot now, crying, saying thank you. Thank you.
Jim Johnston created the soundtrack for generations of WWE fans, with some of the most iconic themes in history. Jim sits down with Conrad to take us behind some of those classic themes, including The Ultimate Warrior.
And then I recorded that. And then just over that, you're just doing. You know, it's so simple, but that's what felt like him.
Hey, that's just a small taste of what Ad-Free Shows has waiting for you, including a brand new perk, getting to join in on the live recordings of the shows with 4 levels to choose from. See for yourself why Ad-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adfreeshows.com. That's right, sign up today at adfreeshows.com.
The SmackDown takes place in Montreal, Quebec, and after what happened to Shane McMahon at the Greatest Royal Rumble, Paige is in charge fully. She announces the Nakamura and Styles rematch at Backlash will be a no DQ. Before we go further, Dog, what do you think of Paige in the GM role?
Oh, I loved her. Look, I was a fan of Paige. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, and I'm pretty sure it's my memory goes. But her and Emma, watching them two wrestle one time was the first time I ever kind of really understood and got, I don't know, maybe it was sexism and I'm just talking around it, but whatever. I didn't like women's wrestling. When I saw them wrestle, the effort they put forth, the athleticism they put into it, the psychology they put into it, totally changed my mind right then and there on women's wrestling. And so I've been a fan of hers forever. And so I think she could work great. I think she was a great promo. This was the best way I could utilize her because of her limitations physically at the time, you know.
Always comfortable in front of that mic too.
Yeah,
so that's a good place to be.
That's what I needed. You know what I mean? And I needed somebody who when she spoke, I believed her. You know what I mean? Because she was the person in charge, and so I needed her to believe the words that were coming out of her mouth. You know what I mean? And so she was good at that.
The Miz is going to be challenging Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title at Backlash, but with Seth on Raw, he's going to be cutting a promo with Jeff Hardy for Miz TV. Dog, you're in charge of SmackDown, but having contact with the Raw guys, was that an issue or no?
Yeah, it's not an issue. I would say if anything, it's a bigger issue for the talent than it is for the writers, because the talent then has to make it to both shows or whatever. You know, it affects their schedule in some way. But so yeah, it wasn't a big deal. Logistically, we just kind of tell the machine you need them there, and they get them there. And so yeah, not too hard. Look, the tricky part is, again, and I don't know what the next question is, but I may be leading you into it. But the tricky part is when a person's not there to cut the promo on them. And look, you can say the same thing as still happens. They still cut promos and do things when the other opponent's not there, if it's a part-timer or if it's a person that doesn't show up every week. You know, you still do that. It's tricky, but not impossible.
The Miz TV will end up featuring Jeff, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin regarding Jinder Mahal of all things. The draft has taken place at this point. Are you treading water with Somewhat Creative because of the time frame? Is that something you didn't particularly enjoy? Or are you trying to set up actual storylines with all of them? Yeah.
Well, so we know, of course, we know where's going who and who's going where. But we're kind of doing both there. We are kind of with some things we're kind of buying time and going, okay, this is official after this pay-per-view, which is I think how we did it back then. But it's just so what were we talking about again? I'm sorry.
Just talking about, are you treading water with some of the guys
I'm
because
sorry.
of this
I'm
time
sorry.
frame?
Yeah. So with some of it, we can go ahead and implement it, and you'll see with I think in the future we're going to talk about Sheamus and them walking backstage and stuff. So you'll see with some of the things we know and we're already into and trying to get some storylines going, and some of it we're treading water. So we just got to wait until everything's official on the other side of the trade, you know. The
promo lasts 15 minutes. Goes very long, but it leads to a match between. It doesn't go long if you enjoyed it, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
It leads to a match between Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, teaming up against Shelton Benjamin and The Miz from the Torch at the finish, not the Observer. We're going to the Torch here.
Whoa.
The heels took over on Hardy for a sustained stretch. During and after the break, Miz hit a series of corner drop kicks. Graves said he made them famous. Phillips said he stole them from Daniel Bryan. Hardy managed to hot tag Orton shortly thereafter. Orton hit a snap power slam, then threw Miz out of the ring. Orton went right after Miz and back suplexed him into the announcer's table. Miz then drop kicked Shelton back in the ring. He set up a second rope DDT, but Miz tried to stop him. Orton DDT'd Miz and Shelton at the same time instead. The crowd popped as Orton played to the fans and really got fired up.
Yeah.
Orton then gave Shelton an RKO. He tagged in Hardy next. Hardy landed with the Swanton bomb for the win. Winners, Hardy and Orton in 14 minutes.
I tell you what, I ain't good at much. I write a Miz TV in a tag match afterward.
Put that one in the feather in the cap, son. There's a lot of teases between Miz and Daniel Bryan. Did you see Money in the program with the two of them?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, because of the organic nature of the rivalry. Like, it came out of real life and dabbled into real emotions, and then realized like we could make money off of this. So I don't know. Yeah, I always thought there was something there, and the more we touched on it, the more when we got to them punching each other, the better it would be.
As Hardy stood, still smarting from the bump on the edge of the ring, Orton surprised him with an RKO out of nowhere. Saxon said now that the tag match is over, it's straight ahead to Backlash on Sunday. I do want to ask this, Dog. It seems like if I was ever in a writing room, one, I'd be lost. But two, booking random RKOs have to be fun.
Yeah.
It's like a game to how are we going to get that in?
Yes, it is, and it's fun to think of a good one. And I'll tell you who's the best at it is Randy Orton.
Really?
He'll suggest, hey, what if we did it? What if I did it right there? And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was thinking about waiting, you know what I mean, or whatever, spinning him around doing. And he was like, no, we'll just do it. So he's really good at them, but it's really fun to orchestrate it, especially. You know, you can't just, I guess you could, but for a little while there we did. We just put him, he was just doing them to everybody all the time. But when he's in a storyline and can show up literally out of nowhere and hit one, man, those are the best, where it's literally the RKO out of nowhere. You know, that's where that came from.
That's why I couldn't do it. If he just, if Randy came up to me with that mustache and then that voice and he was like, I was thinking about doing RKO here. Yeah, whatever you say, man. Just it sounds cool coming from your mouth.
It does. Randy's cool, man. Randy's cool. Like it's different, but Randy's cool like the Undertaker.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
Go,
cool.
Man.
Hey, can I tell you who the concert is?
Oh God, this is it.
Stevie Nicks.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
that's a big boy.
Well, I don't know. Obviously not, but they got tickets to it, so.
Stevie Nicks in Orlando.
Yeah, my wife, my daughter's a big fan.
May 25th.
There it is. So I was wrong. We're going down early. I was wrong about something anyway.
That means you're available for the Rumble. We'd like to ask you to come down to Huntsville.
Come down if you would do color commentary.
And let my wife go over.
On the Rumble for HWF. We're coming down there at the Armory, and I tell you what we're going to do.
CCF. And of all, it's not an army, it's a warehouse.
We're coming down to the CCF Armory, warehouse down there at 1411 Government Street. And I tell you what, me and my partner are going to do, Gator, we're the Mountain Critters. And I tell you what we're going to do, Gator and me, we're going to come down there and take them CHG Tag Team Champions from you.
Well, first of all,
See you down
you're
there.
a Gator. You're from Florida.
My bad.
I'm Tater.
Gator and Tater are coming to CHW,
The Mountain Critters.
California Highway Patrol Federation. I don't know.
Get him. Get him.
Get him, Tater.
My move is a possum. I play dead. That's my move.
I think you're just perfect if we just put them in the turnbuckle and do the Kevin Owens on them.
And then I eat ticks.
Oh, that's
'Cause
the
I'm a
avalanche. That's
Oh,
the
yeah, the
mountain
avalanche.
critter. The mountain critter avalanche. You throw me into them first, and I squash them, and then they drop down, and I back out and throw you into them. You do the avalanche on them.
Kadoosh.
Slide them out. Uno, dos, tres.
If there's one thing I've got, it's a flip. So I got you on that.
You got, yeah.
If you need me to flip ass first into something, I
I
got
tell you who should promote and produce all of this stuff is George Lucas. I think he's got a game changer on his hands here.
Yeah, he does. The Mountain Critters would be a great Disney movie.
Of course it
Lucasfilm.
would.
All
course
right,
it
let's get back into Backlash, I guess.
Okay, why? But
Yeah, I was about to say everybody tuned it out. Renee Young introduced the Iconics and Carmella. Carmella wasn't there though. She asked where she was. The Iconics imitated Renee's accent and made fun of her, which is always the best.
when I read this in the notes, I literally laughed out loud, as I'm doing now.
You could hear it,
because
couldn't
I
you?
can hear the Iconics making fun of her, and she's like, "I'm not from Canada. I'm from." They go, "What's the difference?" You know what I mean? Like they were the best. They really were. They were great.
Renee said their accent was Minnesotan, not Canadian.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Kay said Minnesota, Canada, who cares? They're all garbage. And the crowd booed. They bragged about beating Asuka in her
Imagine
first
that.
match. Yeah. Carmella thanked them for the respectful introduction. She bragged about beating Charlotte 2 weeks ago and said she'll beat her again on Sunday at Backlash. She said they're going to show everybody why she's money. All right. Let's go back to 2018 Backlash at this time. How important is Charlotte to the brand at this time?
Oh, man. Well, she was, dare I say, she was the face of the brand. And at this point, there were several faces of that brand. Not several, but I would say a few in my mind. And the brand, remember, we just talked about the brand a minute ago, how stacked the Raw looked and how, excuse me, I don't know what the word you want to use there, but how underwhelming in comparison the SmackDown roster looked. But there were several people there. I've said it again. I'll take it back. A few people there that were the faces of the brand of SmackDown, and Charlotte was one of them for sure. And
easy to build around her.
Yeah. You could her whole the division was hers at this point. It was just about how do we ride around it, because she is so dominant at wrestling. You got to get tricky with the booking of it all, and we had some fun with it. That's for sure.
And incredible to see. Well, not incredible. I mean, you knew it was going to happen, but we're just 5 short years after that, where we are now with Charlotte, the megastar that she is. She's one of the faces of the entire company, not just a brand.
100%, and rightfully so, because she's done a lot for women's wrestling, and I know a lot of people say that about a lot of people, but a lot of people probably should get credit for it. You know what I mean? And she's one of them, because if she's the face of the WWE, then she's the face of wrestling. And you can argue that all you want to, but you'll be arguing to a brick wall, because I won't be standing there talking to you. I'll have walked away like 8 minutes ago.
They went to the announcers at ringside. Phillips said Bryan lasted 76 minutes at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Dog, have you ever lasted 76 minutes at anything?
Negative. But I tell you what I did do in 76 minutes one time. I ran a mile. And so I was pretty proud of that time. Came in under 80. So that's good stuff.
The bad part is it was a 5K, and you just quit the rest of the
It was a 5K. And at about 0.9 miles in, I tapped out. I was like, you know what? Look, I appreciate the sign, the number 37 sign, and you can keep the urine sample.
You're like, I thought this was a 0.5K. That's on me. My bad.
I didn't read the rest of the fine print. That's on me. I'm still going to donate to the Puppy Foundation.
Right. Now give him my free T-shirt, please.
It says I survived.
Phillips and Bryan talking about Bryan. He said WWE doctors aren't letting him wrestle tonight because they're worried about the welts on his chest turning into a bad infection. They showed a WWE.com interview from Friday of Bryan saying he lost because he couldn't eliminate Strowman, and he sounded at peace with that. Graves said Bryan is probably furious with the medical staff. Dog, we got to ask, was there a legit concern about Daniel Bryan coming out of that show, or was it just a storyline?
So, yeah, look, we always take a little bit of truth and tell it. So, yeah, there was concerns about an infection, definitely with open wounds and working. And so they were pretty confident that he would not miss the show as long as he didn't make this show. And so we're, a little bit of truth and a little bit of romance.
Expand on the truth. Always works.
A little bit of truth and a little bit lie.
I like romance.
Yeah.
I like you when you said romance. It sounds better.
I was going to say bromance and romance.
Oh.
Well, I mean, when you're on the road, man, never mind.
Things happen. The Bar walked backstage showing off their new SmackDown contracts. They happened upon New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods were holding Big E in the air. New Day mocked them for not winning the Raw Tag Team titles at the GRR last Friday. A butler showed up with a tray of pancakes. Big E began rubbing oil on his pecs. The Bar were worried that they were poisoned. They threw the pancakes away. Sheamus offered a fight against New Day tonight. Big E was upset and yelled in Sheamus' face. Sheamus told him he wasn't talking to them. He said he was talking to Xavier. He called him short stack. Xavier smiled and accepted it. You guys really enjoyed pancakes back then.
Let me ask you this. For one, who doesn't? And for two, IHOP and them sirloin tips and eggs is good too. You know what I mean? But that just didn't go over as well or throw as well as a pancake did. So the pancakes were all them. And that's the truth. The pancakes were all them. And once they saw that we were with them on it, you know what I mean? Like they really went, like they were throwing pancakes at people for a year straight.
I went to a house show here in Huntsville, and grown men were yelling for a pancake, and it cracked me up.
Yeah, but look, that backstage, so this is two things that just take me back to, I remember writing the show and getting to see things that I liked. And like, this is one of them. You know what I mean? Like, you come around the corner and you see the bar, and it's Sheamus, and it's Cesaro, and they're serious, and they're walking around the corner. And you come around to Kofi and Xavier holding Big E up on their shoulder, and like, they're laughing. And so you can just, the whole thing is funny and outrageous, and then Big E starts rubbing oil on his chest. Like, I think it's far-fetched, but I think it's funny, and we got a great match out of it. You know what I mean? And we were going to build to the Bar versus New Day, which was going to be a new tag team title story that we were going to tell. You know, so yeah, this was the start of new beginnings.
Hey, this is the National Treasure, Nick Aldis, and I am recommending that you go to savewithconrad.com for all your home buying needs. Not only would I recommend Save with Conrad to friends and co-workers, I have many times already. If I know that they're house hunting, my first recommendation to them always is get in touch with Conrad. His team are the real deal, and they will be straight up with you and do everything they can to get you in that house.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
At savewithconrad.com.
I'm going to give you, you only got 4 slots to create a perfect breakfast. What are you going with? You going to do eggs?
Yeah, 100%.
What kind? How do you cook them?
I eat eggs anyway, but like 9 times out of 10, I'll just order them scrambled because I know it's really hard to screw that up.
Yeah.
I really love I love ketchup. You call me a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I love ketchup. But so sometimes I plan, like I love ketchup in my breakfast meal. So like a hash brown or something like that. Or
you can get a little extra ketchup going.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So yeah, mine would probably be steak, eggs, hash brown, and a short stack of pancakes.
Woo! I like it. Syrup,
Yeah.
right? You're syrup and butter or just syrup?
Yeah. Syrup and butter.
The whole
not
deal.
Sugar-free butter either.
No.
I'm talking, I want a stick of sugar-free syrup.
I want to read on the bottle that a lumberjack sucked it out of a tree himself, baby birded it into this bottle, and now we're eating.
Yes, it's got to be Glenn Close approved.
They stirred it with a moose antler, just all kind of northern stereotypes, and then
Lord.
it's on my pancake. Here we go, another fun backstage.
It's just
Rusev.
a picture of a moose with his leg hiked and a guy holding a bucket. It's like, man, this syrup's good.
We've forced
This syrup's got a little wang to it.
Wang. It's like battery acid. Woo. It's like licking a battery when you eat it. Glen Close syrup. So hardy a lumberjack. I hate it.
Oh, man.
All right,
Some of the stuff we do, guys, if you're just tuning in, is just for us, too.
100.
And we crack up laughing, and if you're not in on the joke, you need to listen more, because I don't have the time to go back through it with you guys. I'm sorry. Continue.
Let's go to another fun one backstage. Rusev and Aiden English were hanging out. Lana walked up to him. The crowd popped. She wore a Happy Rusev Day t-shirt. Lana said Rusev Day is bigger than ever, and he had a match against Undertaker, but he came up short. She said something is holding him back. Rusev said he has a holiday held in his honor every day. He asked, what could be holding him back? And Lana looked at English.
Oh.
Where did the idea come from, putting Lana and Rusev back together?
I think Lana, maybe. I'm not sure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. And these are always difficult questions for me, and I'm just being honest, because it was it's one of the things that I don't want to say regret, because it's not like I lose sleep, but when the conversation comes up about Rusev and Lana and their stint here, like, I feel like they slipped between my fingers, like I dropped that ball. And I say Lana in there with him, Rusev, because I believe that was part of the package. And I liked Aiden English in there with him too. So, that's just one of the things I feel like if I could go back and do it differently, I would try to do it differently.
Well, let's go from a different angle then.
Okay.
We've never asked about this angle. What about Aiden English during this time? Was he getting pushed out of the gimmick? What did he think about it? How was he at this point in time?
Yeah, well, look, I'm sure he wasn't happy about it,
Right.
But he was. You see it now playing out in a backstage. So he definitely was being played out. But that's another thing. Is like there's, I don't know. The iron was hot. And we, to say we didn't strike is not true, because look, we wrote it. We wrote Rusev Day, the one segment that started it all. We wrote it in a way to be great. You know what I mean? To be awesome, to be exciting. And then Randy came in and RKO'd him off the thing. So there's another great thing. But that we started the Rusev Day thing to be a thing, like a thing. So then when it became one, we just didn't continue with it. And that's a failure, but it's just a creative failure in pro wrestling. So it's not like, when I get to the pearly gates, he's going to go, man, that Rusev Day thing. You really dropped the ball there, soldier. I can't hear you. Maybe I've gone deaf. Oh,
here we go.
No, I was deaf momentarily.
I
was also blind in my left eye.
It was either that or burp on your Rusev at the Pearly Gate rant. So I decided to mute it, and I forgot to come back.
The burp would have been a better response than a laugh, I think, actually.
The announcer said Bryan is scheduled to face Cass at Backlash. Big Cass stood mid-ring as his music faded. The fans booed. He said he is from New York City. He said their rep is that they aren't friendly to people from other cities, and that's because they're better than everybody else. He said he's sure he's better than Bryan because he's the same size as the fans in the crowd. He said WWE superstars don't look like a fan. Rather, they are 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And we will all know what makes right. He said the fans won't get their cherished 5-star match, but rather a 5-second match. He said he won't be doing wrist locks. He said he doesn't need more time to prepare. He offered to fight Bryan tonight rather than waiting until Sunday, and called him to the ring so he can kick his teeth down his throat right now. And out came a little person dressed as Bryan. Cass told him, pretending it was Bryan, that he looks taller than usual. Cass said he has a short temper and asked if he's a little pissed off. He asked if he's mad.
He said, is he's a little pissed off? That doesn't sound like me.
No, not at all. He asked if he's mad. He left him lying last week and ruined his record-breaking performance at the Greatest Royal Rumble. He told him not to be short-sighted and look at the bigger picture. He said he used to be small like him when he was 5 years old. Bryan threw a kick to Cass's leg. Cass then asked the fans to give a round of applause to the Bryan impersonator. Cass then kicked him in the face. Then he punched him. Several referees ran out and fans chanted "a-hole" to him. Graves was disgusted with Cass. Dog, nothing like getting a little heat with a little person. But Cass is a singles and cutting promos. What'd you think? He was missing a little something here in 2018, but like we've mentioned before, it's great to see where he is now.
Yeah, and truth be told, even here inside the ring and on the mic and everything, he was carrying his own.
Yeah.
Like, he's not bad at a promo. I think what people, and look, rightfully so, you can't help but to notice the little guy who talked a lot's not there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So in comparison, yeah, he's not the same promo, but it's not fair to compare him to, because nobody was a promo like Enzo. And now he's unemployed. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I think he has a job.
He is.
No, he has a job somewhere. I was just kidding. And he cut a great promo. My point is, you can't compare Cass to Enzo. You know what I mean? It's
going to be different anyway.
It's going to be totally different, and the atmosphere is different. But I thought Cass did all right. What Cass needed to do in 2018 is exactly what he's done in 2023, 2022. Is to put himself first, take care of himself, take care of his health, both physically and mental, his emotional health. He's taking care of himself now, and you can see it in his work, in his body, in everything he does. So I'm a huge fan of Big Cass. Have been from the get-go, but I've kind of been through some things with him, and so he's stronger for it, and so am I. So I'm a fan.
From the Torch, Styles made his ring of entrance as Phillips plugged his no DQ match on Sunday against Nakamura. Renee asked if he thinks he'll retain his title on Sunday. Styles asked if she's talking about the con artist or the cheap shot artist. He said while he is interested in retaining his gold, Shinsuke is more interested in his jewels. After low blow, after low blow, after low blow. She asked if he would apologize to Nakamura after what he did to him in Saudi Arabia. Styles said he should have left Nakamura in the Arabian desert. He said he can break rules as well as Nakamura can. He said it's an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. And he said as far as low blows are concerned, that'll be the least of Nakamura's worries. He said he'll leave pieces of him in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Styles asked Nakamura to come out if he wants an apology. Instead, Samoa Joe's music played.
Oh, night, AJ.
Our buddy Wade Keller here with the Torch. His analysis was...
Hey, can I stop you right there for just a second? We'll go back to Wade Keller and the Torch.
Yeah.
What is the... So the Torch and the... Observer are just two different...
Yeah.
Dirt, kayfabe sheet. I don't know what they're called. What are they called? I don't want to
Wrestling news.
Wrestling news journalist. Wrestling news...
Newsletters. Yeah.
Letters.
They're just totally different.
Two totally different, but who's the Torch's
Wade Keller.
So Wade Keller's
is Dave Meltzer.
Is he and I know Wade used to work in WWE, didn't he?
He's did a lot of things. He's very good, yes.
Yeah. So is he as knowledgeable, and I'm asking out of ignorance here. I don't mean to be funny or judgmental or nothing. Is he as knowledgeable as the history and everything as
Yes.
Okay, cool.
100%.
Okay. Very cool. And Dom, I see you on the sidebar chiming in. Hey, your job is safe here, bro.
Yeah, it's Coke and Pepsi. It's just
okay.
Your
Got it.
preference.
And look, I've probably read both from time to time, and I apologize for not knowing the difference. But I heard you say it earlier, and I thought, okay, thank you. Back to Wade Keller.
Some people call it PWT, the Pro Wrestling Torch. Or
Oh,
just the
okay.
tour?
Pro wrestling tour. I've heard that a million times.
Yeah. Keller said Styles seemed almost unlikable here. The crowd wasn't really with him. He just seemed to be off, like he was in a mood or something. The crowd seemed to sense it, which might be in part why they were so willing to chant for Nakamura and pop for Joe as much as they did. Was it delivery? Was it the scripting? Why do you think he thinks it missed here? Did you feel that backstage?
No.
Okay.
You know, I feel like, and look, I'll say this, to be honest. This is one part of the show I don't remember at all, but
Okay.
I don't ever remember a portion of any wrestling show where AJ Styles and Samoa Joe were on there and Shinsuke Nakamura was in the conversation that didn't connect or didn't work. And so I'd really have to watch the thing back and try to grasp what context he was talking about.
Well, Joe comes out and promotes that he's got Roman Reigns at Backlash, and then he said he's going to move on to AJ. So you guys, regardless of how much you remember of it or not, just the words we're putting AJ and Joe together is always going to be a plus.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. Maybe that, I don't know. Maybe it was.
Well, Nakamura's music.
Yeah, sometimes it's and this is we were in Montreal, I believe.
Yes.
And so look, that's a good town, but sometimes towns are different. And Joe was hot, you know what I mean? Joe had just come in, AJ had just come in. This stuff was cool, and so Joe came. I don't know. It sounded all good to me.
Well, they pop for Nakamura and they pop for Samoa Joe's music. They can't pop for everybody. I mean, somebody's got to be the guy they
it
don't.
Sounds
pop.
like they did.
Nakamura's music would eventually come on, and while everyone was looking at the entrance, he comes out from the crowd and hits a low blow again on AJ and beats the crap out of him.
He told you he wasn't worried about titles. He was worried about his jewels.
Yeah. Did you love heel Nakamura?
I did love heel Nakamura. I loved heel. Let's not do that. I'm sorry I started that.
You started it.
I did.
It's going to be in my head the rest of the show.
It is too. And I just came in from, I just flew in from live events at Fort Wayne where he was on and he cut promos and it was just going, yeah. And everybody just does it with him. And it's just like, okay, stop now. But it's good. It's great.
Backstage, Becky Lynch was pacing and upset. Asuka walked up to console her. Then Charlotte told them that their opponents aren't invincible. That would be weird if she said they are. They're annoying and have lost their minds. She said tonight she'll teach Carmella a lesson in respect. Lynch said they have to work together. Asuka got psyched up, and Becky and Charlotte seemed receptive to her message. Excuse me. You got three of the top women's wrestlers in the world right here.
Just an world.
Absolute wealth of talent. It was only a matter of time before Becky broke through right here.
Yeah, 100%. And look, you can't say, or you can, but you're full of crap half the time. But I saw something special in Becky from the get-go. There's something about her work ethic. There was something about her accent. There was something about her that she was just. She as a human, she kind of stood out a little bit. And so it was like, there's something there. We just got to figure out what it is and pull it out. And she did that on her own. However, you're talking about, I just want to keep going back to, while that Raw roster was hyped with all the jacked guys and the stars, and think about that from the women's division of the SmackDown brand, man. Asuka, Becky, and Charlotte all in the same conversation and on the same team. You know what I mean? And so right then we're seeing, oh my God, somebody got to turn heel. You know what I mean? Like these three girls are going to on top of the world. They're going to have to fight each other in a babyface match or something's going to have to happen here. So you start going to work. But what an awesome backstage that is, and just considering the women's division of SmackDown,
Dog, we want to talk about our next partner here on the podcast, and that is our friends over at Athletic Greens. Me and both have used Athletic Greens. It is, the deal is, some people get worried when they hear, hey, we got vitamins and minerals and it's in a scoop and we're going to mix it up. And look, hey, this is tasty stuff, and what you're going to get out of it is you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens. That's going to help start your day right. That was the most exciting part when I got it, Dog.
Yeah.
Is because I get up early, I do radio, and I don't have time to do this big breakfast. So I'm always grabbing something fast.
On the go.
Boom. I scooped that. I even had the AG1 shaker.
Yeah, the shaker.
Scooped that in there, filled it up. By the time I got to work, I'd already had all the vitamin and minerals that I needed for the day. Special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and of course for you, Dog, aging.
Health and recovery, not aging, but also high quality poops. Hey, and so that's
gut health right
gut
there.
health, my friend. Gut health is where it all begins. And so, look, you drink one of those shakes, and you mentioned it's got the shaker that comes with it. I got that one as well. And the first time I drank it, you said, like, you start your day off. That was the first time I'd probably ever had that many vitamins and minerals in one day. You know what I mean? But it did. Gut health is what it's all about, and this is that's what it's been for me. Is a big benefit with my gut health. I don't want to get any grosser than that.
I will tell you this: the last shipment I got, I did not finish, not because I chose not to, but because my wife took it over.
Oh yeah,
you know. Both of our wives into health, into taking care of their bodies, and unlike us. And no, but my wife absolutely hijacked me. I said, "Hey, where's my stuff? I had a whole thing." And she goes, "Well, that was on me. I took it. I've been taking it." And she said the best part, because she takes all these supplements and powders and all that stuff. She said, "Hey, it actually tastes good. A little pineapple taste to it." And everybody's loving it. She's telling everybody about it now. Now we're talking about it as well.
Yeah. Amen.
And so, look, you need to get this. And here's the best part about it. Seeing how much my wife spends on it, it costs less than $3 a day. And you're investing in your health. It's cheaper than all your cold brew habit and all that stuff. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself. And trying to.
It's definitely cheaper than that cold brew habit.
If I said go right now and get 75 vitamins, that's a lot of money you're going to be doing.
Yeah, amen.
You're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance, and don't just take our word for it. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 five-star reviews, and it's recommended by many professional athletes. So
you can also tell it's an upcoming business as they started promoting with us. Now I'm seeing their commercials all over TV.
Everywhere.
Like they're growing. They're growing leaps and bounds, and so this stuff is the real deal.
You don't grow unless you're doing something right.
Yeah,
and people
amen.
keep taking it. So there we go. Now is the time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. Just one scoop and a cup of water every day, and that's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/DOGG. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/DOGG to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. And we thank Athletic Greens for choosing Oh You Didn't Know to help get their word out.
Thank you, Athletic Greens.
All right, let's get back into it with our second match of the night. Xavier Woods with Kofi and Big E. They're taking on Sheamus with Cesaro. This might be the latest into a wrestling show that a second match has ever taken place. Around the 80-minute mark into a show, we're just now at our second match. The announcers talk about how the Bar are jealous and upset because they feel like they've been overshadowed. They cut to a break early, but stayed with the action on split screen. Xavier climbed to the top rope. Cesaro distracted him. Big E yanked Cesaro off the ropes, but Cesaro shoved Big E hard into the ring post. Cesaro strutted. Xavier kicked him down. Sheamus then shoved Xavier into the ringside, threw him into the ring a second later, and Xavier surprised him with a small package for the win.
Oh, gotcha. Hey,
Xavier
gotcha.
in 8 minutes. By the way, that's the story. That's the story of my life. I've surprised so many people with a small package for the win.
I haven't surprised any of them, really. They kind of all saw it coming.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a surprise, but did get the win. And winning's all that matters.
Amen.
When you have a heavy promo show and a light wrestling show like this one, Dog, is that by design, or is that something that's even in consideration, or did it just happen that way?
Well, it was by design. what are you going to put out there wrestling wise that's going to tell your stories to sell your pay-per-view coming up in a week? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So we got to talk. We got to talk a lot. We got to tell our stories. Some people aren't here. Some people weren't cleared. So, how do we do this? And so, yeah, it was by design.
When you have former Absolution members Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville walked in and kissed up to Paige, they were happy about their reunion. They asked, who will it be? Paige said it'll be Mandy. And Mandy assumed they were talking about a SmackDown women's title match. Paige said, that's not what she meant. She said Mandy next week will face Becky Lynch. Deville said that she should get special treatment because they're Absolution. Paige said Absolution is dead. Mandy and Sonya looked crestfallen. It's the first time I've ever used that word.
You know what? I wouldn't use it. What does it mean other than that?
It didn't sound good coming out of my mouth.
No.
Anyway,
it didn't.
That's a nice tie-in, isn't it? What's
I
important
thought you
to
farted
keep
out of
this?
your mouth.
Athletic Greens.
Crystal.
Nice tie-in, isn't it? What's important to keep this story going, or did it really matter to anyone? What are your thoughts here?
So I don't think it mattered to anyone, but I mean, felt like we needed to close up that little loose end that they were Absolution, and now she's running the show. They want special favors. She said no, so we needed to draw that line as quickly as possible. I think what that backstage did was just that.
You had to be excited because next a selfie video aired with Zelina Vega in a parking lot. We're just talking about her on an upcoming Backlash. Yeah. Now, here she is getting ready for this one 5 years ago. She said fan wants to know when Andrade will arrive. She said it will be on their clock. And when it happens, SmackDown will be changed forever. Almas had a few final words in Spanish. You had to be excited to getting Almas here, right?
Yes, I was very excited. Very excited. Because, look, I knew what he could do. I knew what he had done in NXT. So, yeah, I was very excited to get him up there. And look, we liked the package with him and Zelina also. I thought it was great of them two together. So, yeah, we were excited to get them.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, we've talked about this before with Nakamura and a possible language barrier. And do you have a translator? Do you have him speaking in broken English? Do you have subtitles? Is this the same thing here with Andrade? Because when he gets in the ring, we're going to be all right.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting him over with the English audience and the language barrier there.
Yeah, and that's also, like, I'm sure a lot of people see that as a Zionist, whatever, but that's just domestically is our largest audience, and it's just a business fact, right? And so we wanted to have somebody who could cut a good promo, and she spit fire, and she's a little spitfire, and so it was perfect. You know what I mean? And he's learned to speak English a lot better. But I've heard him cut promos still that his English is so good it hurts the promo a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. The argument is there to be made.
Yep. The third match, the Iconics and Carmella versus Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. Charlotte eventually speared Carmella during some late match chaos, then landed a moonsault off the top rope to ringside onto Carmella and Kay. Asuka, meanwhile, got the crowd worked up as she came up behind Royce. Royce, though, rolled up Asuka. Asuka countered right into an Asuka lock for the tap-out win. Phillips said this could be the beginning of another winning streak. Winners Asuka, Charlotte, Lynch in 14 minutes. Charlotte signaled toward Carmella that she was taking her belt back on Sunday as Phillips gave a final pitch for the pay-per-view this Sunday. Dog, is this an odd main event to close a go-home show as the women are definitely not in the main event? Wade Keller said in The Torch that he would wonder if it was regarding the women not being allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia at the time. Was that the thinking, or did y'all just what was the thinking behind this?
Truth be told, this was probably a limited roster, and we probably had to make chicken salad out of poop, chicken poop. But like still a good main event with the star power, especially on the babyface side. And Carmella was the champion at the time, if I'm correct. And we're going to Charlotte and Carmella. Look, you can draw lines of correlation. it makes sense to me. I'm sure it didn't make sense to other people, but a lot of my things never do. But I just thought it still told us the story, and we probably had limited, like I said, talent because of the different travel around those times and people that didn't come to Canada. So I can see us putting this match together and saying, yeah, let's knock this one out. And she. You know what I mean? The champ didn't get beat, but another girl got beat, and Charlotte looked dominant, and so it plugged in some way the women's title match.
Well, let's get to the show. Backlash, May 6, 2018, just to get everyone primed. From the Wrestling Observer Readers Poll, it got a 92.8% thumbs down.
Oh,
that's not a good ratio there.
Wait, 98% thumbs down?
92.8 by the readers, not even Dave. That was from the readers. Ooh, not a good ratio. Let's get into it and see what happened.
Are you sure? You sure you want to?
I mean, I'll go eat some dinner and come back.
I mean, maybe if we just tell everybody to go watch it real quick and come back and tell us what they thought.
What if we just sat in silence the entire time of the pay-per-view while they went and watched it?
It's no use.
We're like the heads on Mr.
Let's go through it. I got to hear this thing.
All right, here we go from the Observer. Here we go. WWE had its worst pay-per-view in recent memory with a Backlash show on 5/6 that had issues with everything from match quality to match layouts to timing. A 4-hour show is fine when it's great, but it's painful when it's bad. This was particularly painful because in 4 hours, because of an added segment that wasn't needed and dragged forever, a number of matches were cut short. Dog, when you're putting a show like this together, do you go, hey, this is an estimated length, or do you go, hey, guys, I can look just right now, we're running long? Hey, what are we going to trim if that's the case?
Yeah, and truth be told, I'm interested to hear what segment that was that we added.
It got cut? All right.
Yeah.
Let's
talk through it.
The weird part is, for the first 45 minutes or so, this is one of the hottest pay-per-view crowds in a long time. The Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey was nearly sold out, 12,000 fans. They were hotter for the Bayley versus Ruby Riott pre-show match than any pre-show match in recent memory. On the flip side, it was also technically the weakest pre-show match in recent memory, but the crowd was so hot, they didn't even care. Do you remember anything about the crowd, Dog?
No.
Okay. Let's keep going. The issue with a dual-branded pay-per-view shows with both brands having championships is the tendency to load up on matches. Even on this show, neither tag team title, the Cruiserweight title, nor the Universal title was defended, yet they have an 8-match main show and went way long. The idea of the Elias segment was to get more people on the show and entertain them between matches, but it went far too long. Dog, was this an issue a lot with the dual-branded, what are now premium live events? Is we got a lot to figure out how to get into.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I don't know. I guess I don't. Look, the more I hear how horrible this is, the guess I don't remember it the most. But but like now that I'm hearing like an Elias segment with a lot of people on it, obviously is what I'm gathering. It has the tendency to run long, and then once you go long, you do have to cut stuff, and that's the nature of the beast. I don't like that it was a 4-hour pay-per-view already. I give that 92% thumbs down.
All right, let's get into it. So this isn't a 4-hour show. Let's start with the crowd, the match that the crowd was hot for. Ruby Riott pinned Bayley in 10 minutes and 5 seconds. They did an angle before the match where Bayley and Sasha Banks argued about Bayley not helping Banks on Raw, and Banks said Bayley was on her own here. It was sloppy in spots. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan were at ringside. Logan interfered early. The crowd was really into this, but it was sloppy. Bayley tackled Morgan off the apron, but Riott kicked her once and then hit the Riott kick for the win. 1.5 stars. The Bayley Sasha Banks story seemed to always be going and stopping and going. Why was that, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with that 100%, to tell you the truth, that it did start and stop a lot. And I don't really know if that was, there's a fine line between having them team together so long, and you tease it a few times, and you do that, and then you've kind of missed it. You know what I mean? Like, you should have done it like 10 times ago. And I think that's kind of what we did with them. You know what I mean? And I don't know who's at fault for that, if any one person is, but it's true. I mean, it happened. Yeah. We saw it all happen.
Well, here's a fun deal as we continue to go through. Meltzer decided in this breakdown to list the agents for the matches.
Dog. Oh, okay.
And he got some new info, and he decided to intro it. I like to get your quick thoughts as we go through and we get to a match with new agents, and just get your thoughts on them as agents, not as anything else, but just as agents. So for this first match, it was put together by Tyson Kidd and Dean Malenko. What'd you think of them two as agents, Dog?
Love them. Tyson still works for the WWE, and he's great. And anybody who thinks otherwise is a different thinker than I am. And Dean Malenko, like nothing but great thoughts and thoughts about Dean Malenko, like that, So I guess Wade Keller knows better than Dean Malenko. So.
No, we're back to the Observer for this.
Oh, my bad. I mean, can we? Now this way, it can go both ways. Right here, because let's be honest.
Seth Rollins pinned The Miz in 20 minutes and 30 seconds to retain the IC title. Crowd was hot at first. Miz was sloppy early. Miz DDT'd Rollins on his head. I mean, I thought that's what a DDT does. It's put you on your head. But I've never seen anybody DDT the leg. But Miz later took Rollins' leg out, and Rollins landed face first on the apron. Miz did a crossbody off the top, and Rollins rolled through. Rollins started stomping his foot to get the people to chant, "Burn it down." Rollins went for a tope, but Miz nailed him with an elbow. They were on the apron. Rollins went for a jumping knee, but hit his knee on the post. Miz went for the figure four. The crowd was very hot here. Rollins reversed, and Miz reversed back. Miz hit the skull-crushing finale twice, but Rollins kicked out both times. He tried one off the middle rope, but Rollins escaped. After a series of reversals, Rollins hit the curb stomp for the pin. 4.25 stars.
So I agree with them more often than not, actually. But I agree with them. And if you fast forward to 5 years, they just did the same match on Raw the other night and burned it down again. And they just did it in Birmingham, England a couple of weeks ago and burned it down again. So, I mean, that's a great matchup. It's a 4.25 stars.
We've talked about it a little bit before with the dual branded pay-per-views, you obviously want all your people to go over. This is one of the better Miz matches, but were you a fan of having him lose to Seth while he was on SmackDown?
I mean,
or you just go, hey, let's give us a good match and we'll all be happy.
Look, that's the truth of it. And apparently it didn't matter because 92% of the torch readers hated the show.
By the way, crowd was hot, 4.5 stars.
Yeah, show sucked. Worst show ever. But we're getting there. We're getting to the crappy part, I guess. So far, Miz and Seth Rollins can tear the place down anytime the bell rings. So thank God for that.
Third match, Nia Jax retained the Raw Women's title, beating Alexa Bliss in 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Jax was throwing her around. Bliss injured her left shoulder, but it wasn't that bad as she was back working by Wednesday. Bliss knocked her off the ropes to the floor and hit a DDT on the ring steps. Jax tried a Samoan drop off the middle rope, but Bliss kicked her leg. The finish saw Bliss go for the Twisted Bliss. Jax caught her and hit a Samoan drop for the pin. Next came the weirdest thing. Jax did a post-match interview. The crowd was booing her lightly even at the start, and then it got worse. She said that this win was for everyone who had been bullied. A few people were clapping, but most were disinterested, and yet it got worse. She said that it's okay to be different, then started doing WWE corporate buzzwords and was dying out there. She said if you're good enough, you should never change for a friend or a boyfriend. She said that in the end, a bully always gets their ass kicked. This just died, says the Observer. Then Michael Cole started talking about the anti-bullying rallies that WWE does. This took the show down a lot. 1.25 stars. Dog, what do you remember of this promo? Do you have thoughts on it? Did it have anything to do with just the crowd not getting into it, though? Or did
No,
it have
look,
a chance?
It didn't have a chance,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm like. This was meant for a backstage insert kind of thing that they could have done on her walk to the ring. I say
Yeah.
we could have done on the walk to the ring. We could have done it in a different way. But at this time we were experimenting with a lot of things, and everybody knows that, and trying different stuff. Post-match interviews in ring, post-match interviews on the floor next to the loser gets interviewed. You know what I mean? Like just different stuff. And so, right, wrong, or indifferent. You know what I mean? It was a swing and a miss. But this. This should have been separate from her match. I just feel like it's not an in the ring, in arena kind of promo. Yeah. It's straight down the pipe of the camera, looking to you, talking about what I've been through and how I can help you go through that also. You know what I mean? Like it should have been delivered differently. And sometimes when you get out, look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. When you get in the mob, sometimes the bad guy ends up being the good guy. You know what I mean? Sometimes the guy who's saying the right things. And if you think about everything she said there, it's all true. It's all right. It's all a part of the anti-bullying campaign that the company does run. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was just poorly positioned company business. You know what I mean? And so.
Again, you don't know unless you try. Like you said, you got to swing and miss to learn what you got to work on.
This was I honestly think she was the perfect spokesperson for that, but because of people's personal feelings, and obviously the Torch included, or whichever one said that, has personal feelings against her also, and so they weren't going to have, they just like the rest of the people, we're not going to have it. We're not, boo, shut up. Boo. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, people. You realize you're the bad guys here, right?
Boo! We want bullies to win.
Yeah.
As far as agents go, Sarah Stock put this match together. Any memories of working with her, Dog?
Yeah. I worked with her in TNA. I worked with her here in WWE, and now I think she works as a coach for AEW. So she's done well for herself in this industry. Yeah. She was good at it. I mean, look, the every name you read is not. I'm not going to go like, oh my God, I hate that guy. Oh my God, she's. I'm
gonna keep tossing them till you do.
Yeah, keep tossing them, and I'm going to tell you, they got the spot for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there ain't a dime a dozen out there. I can tell you that much. So continue.
Jeff Hardy pinned Randy Orton to keep the U.S. title in 11 minutes. This was just a match, says the Observer. The prior bout took the crowd out of it, and even though these two are some of the most popular stars, they never got it going. Orton drop kicked him off the apron and gave him 3 back suplexes on the barricade. This was slow-paced, which isn't a bad thing, but the crowd wasn't with it. Orton then did an endless chinlock spot, which did get the crowd up for the comeback. It really was too slow for the crowd, though. Hardy won with a twist of fate and swanton. I don't think people thought it was the finish, even though Hardy always wins with it. Figuring Orton was just too big a star to lose like that. 2.25 stars. Dog, is it a surprise to see Jeff here to get the win because Randy is just Randy? But it felt like it never got started. They were digging out of this hole from the promo.
Yeah, maybe they were from that promo, and maybe
two baby faces taking on each other.
Yeah, it is questionable because that's the first thing I thought of when I thought this match was not what it should be. I don't know who to cheer for, and I don't know who I should pop for and win. Like, am I doing? You know what I mean? I don't know how to feel right now because I love both these guys, and so I don't know. And look, this was Jeff just coming back, so he probably needed the shot in the arm worse than a 20-year legend killer needed a victory. So that was probably why that decision was made.
Any idea who the agent was?
Arn Anderson.
Yeah, Arn Anderson put this together.
Yep.
What'd you think of Arn in the agent role?
Oh, I loved him. Look, Arn's legitimately a hilarious human being. He's great to hang around and be around, and he knows wrestling. And I think people have a different concept of what the agent, the /producer does for the whole thing anyway. But basically, he's there to give some guidance. He doesn't put the thing together. Like, he may have some suggestions here and there, but it's much more of the talent and the agent working in collaboration than anybody bringing orders down. You know what I mean? Except for if there's a specific finish or something like that, it needs to go just like this.
Did you always hear that he was John Cena's favorite agent?
Yes. Well, I didn't know if he was his favorite, but I know he did every match. You know what I mean?
That's a big vote of confidence
there. That let me know. But he also did a lot of Randy stuff. And so, look, that's, they
Those
asked.
are two dudes to be asking for you, brother.
Yeah, sure. And so that's what Arn brings to the table. He was the stinking enforcer.
Come on with it.
Yeah.
Next was the Long Elias segment. Here we go. The fans cheered him big. He said he was good friends with Bruce Springsteen and said the only thing Springsteen regrets is that he's from New Jersey. He didn't get much heat for that, as the New York crowd isn't going to fall for stuff like that so easily. He's eased living. Here we go. The New Day came out with Big E with a drum from a marching band. Woods said they wanted to walk with Elias, but Elias said he was a solo act. Elias said that someday maybe they could open for him, but this wasn't the day. This segment felt like it lasted forever. Aiden English came out. The crowd did get up for his singing Rusev Day. Rusev came out and called Elias a bootleg Bob Dylan. No Way Jose came out with the conga line that included Apollo Crews, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Dana Brooke, Titus O'Neil, and Bo Dallas. Then Bobby Roode, who we last saw as being carried out on a stretcher on a spot they killed by showing the replay. Roode was fine and hit Elias with a DDT. The crowd did react big to Roode. Then everybody danced. English wanted to join the conga line, and Rusev got mad at him. It's reported in the Observer that your brother helped put this together as the agent.
I don't know.
Boy, this has got to be a ton of work getting this much talent involved
together, especially all those talents in the Congo line, getting them all on board. Having to sell that.
They just go, who wants to be in a Congo?
Oh Lord, they probably said, "Who's here?" That's probably exactly what happened. Who do we have? Here's a list of people we have.
Happy birthday, Scott. Put together a Congo line.
Yeah, put together a musical act and a Congo line. And truth be told, that would have been my segment had I not been writing the show, because I would have been given that segment as well, the entertainment Congo line segment.
What do you think about a long segment this right on a pay-per-view when we got a lot of people looking for ring time?
Yeah, it did not go as planned.
Did somebody just take a stand and they won? Or what? I mean, what is that?
Yeah, it did go too long, and after that you just got to go. How much time do we have? What do we got to do? And so, it's scary. But it's not you time the show and you go, this is what you have. But now you have human beings going out there and fighting each other almost, and trying to get it all done at exactly that amount of time. It's just not realistic. It's not a science, and it never will be. If we can get anywhere close, we're doing good.
Daniel Bryan beat Big Cass in 7 minutes and 44 seconds. Corey Graves said that if tanning was a skill, Cass would be among the greatest of all time. Not much here. The crowd chanted, "We want Enzo." Good luck on that one. Bryan did some running drop kicks. Cass did some clotheslines. Bryan won with a head kick and the yes lock submission. Cass tapped right away. Cass attacked him after the match, giving him 2 Beal throws on the floor while the crowd chanted, "You tapped out." Cass left him laying after a running kick. 2 stars. This match could have been held off longer maybe, or was it important to get it on early on? What do you think about the timing in the card here?
Yeah, I mean, it could have gone on earlier. Look, the truth be told, in retrospect, we shouldn't have had the Elias segment on there. You know what I mean? Like
now everything's messed up.
Yeah, now it's all downhill from here, and so it just kind of tightened everything up, and you couldn't tell a good story, especially in 7 minutes. After that, Bryan and him have been in a story for a minute. They have to go 7 minutes now, and so.
Not to get too much into his personal stuff, but was he already in the WWE doghouse? Do you remember?
Who?
2018 Cass?
Yeah, he was just getting in it. And truth be told, he never got in the WWE doghouse per se. It wasn't a thing where it was like, oh my God. It was like is he going to be okay? You know what I
we
mean?
help
So
him?
it was,
Yeah.
it was out of concern. And look, truth be told, same thing happened with me. You know what I mean? They said, "Can we help you anyway?" And thank God they said it. You know, for me and him both, I'd imagine.
We've mentioned both of these names, one on this show and one on previous shows, but Dean Malenko and Jamie Noble put this one together.
Yeah,
Talk about Jamie Noble as an agent.
Jamie Noble is a savant. Like he is, and I don't say idiot savant. He's just a savant. He's a wrestling savant. He puts the Royal Rumbles together, and it's nothing short. Like I would buy a ticket to see him write the Royal Rumble, and I wouldn't even watch the match itself because he is so good at it, and so like his wrestling history and his wrestling knowledge and his consistency to continue to grow. Like he's in the ring, like shoot wrestling and shoot, shooting with these guys at every TV. And so he's still doing that. Jamie Noble's an incredible human being. And he has a pet raccoon.
Does he really?
Yeah.
He's got a mountain critter.
He's got a mountain critter, a pet raccoon. I can't remember the name.
I believe it's not Gator or Tater.
It's not Gator or Tater, no.
I believe Dean Malenko trained Jamie Noble, so
I bet he did.
They go back a long way.
I bet he did. They were tight, and it was very much a young boy trainer mentality and dynamic when the two were together. That's funny.
Next up, Carmella beat Charlotte Flair to keep the SmackDown Women's title in 10 minutes.
What?
Yeah, Charlotte kicked her in the head. How about that? Can you do that? But she did. It missed, and Carmella sold it. Carmella grabbed her belt and wanted to leave. Charlotte threw her down on the floor by the hair and threw her back in the ring. Charlotte missed the plancha. When Carmella moved, Carmella hit a super kick and then used a long chin lock. Charlotte used a backwards drop kick to break a double arm lock. Carmella worked a dated style like she was from the Moolah area, pass using a triangle. The finish saw Charlotte go for the moonsault. Carmella moved, and Charlotte landed on her feet and hurt her knee. Carmella kicked her in the hamstring and then rolled her up. If Charlotte was going to lose like this, why did they break Asuka's streak? Because in the end, it done nothing for nobody. 1 star from the Observer. All right.
And I guarantee you that 1 star from the Observer was because of that breaking Asuka's streak.
Yeah, they were mad at how it happened.
And I get it, but there's 2 sides to every coin. And so, was she still going to be undefeated right now? Was she still, you know what I mean? Like what? And I get it. You're saying like give that carrot to somebody. Like okay, but like ain't that what we do? So is it different to try something different?
Right.
Like you can like what you want to like, and that's cool. But don't corner the market because you ain't the only one. You know what I mean?
We haven't mentioned her much as far as got deep into her as a person, but what do you think of Carmella as a worker back here in 2018?
Look, I thought she was doing exactly what we asked of her. She was not in the caliber of work. How do I phrase this? She didn't have the work, the ability, the wrestling ability that some of the girl that Asuka had. Becky had, Charlotte, these women have, and so don't act like she does. You know what I mean? And don't compare them to either because they're 2 different characters. And I thought Carmella was trying. He commented on her working an older style. I thought she was trying to do things differently to establish herself as an in-ring competitor, and I thought she was doing pretty good at it. She was getting better. Look. We can all say that she was green when she got there. I think she was doing really well by this time, and so I don't know. It was trials, but I didn't think it was errors. You know what I mean? It just wasn't what they wanted to see. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't get what I want to see either. I've been watching Skinwalker Ranch. And on all them Bigfoot shows, I ain't yet to see a deadgum Sasquatch. But you know what? I don't bitch at them about it. I tune in next week.
Keep watching.
Yeah.
Agent for this one is Johnny Ace. Want to say anything about Johnny Ace?
No.
All right, number 7, AJ Styles.
I'm just kidding. I played that for the band. No, look, Johnny had a job in a high position in this industry for longer than just about anybody else I've known in this industry. So there is a talent for that. And right, wrong, or indifferent, say what you want to say. There is a talent for that. He wasn't the best wrestler ever, but he did know, he was smart to what the business and how it works. So he was good as a producer, because like I said, the producer didn't put the match together and show you how to do it all. The producer's just there to guide you and go, hey, that you shouldn't do that. Don't go on the outside in the first match. Whatever, you know what I mean? Just common little things. So yeah, Johnny, look, Johnny's a friend and always has been. And when it came time to firing me, he always called me personally, and I appreciate that. He did, and I do appreciate it.
Next up, AJ Styles retained the WWE title going to a no contest with Shinsuke in a no DQ match in 21 minutes. They're having a very good match.
Oh.
Then the finish came. They brawled outside the ring. The fans were chanting for tables. Styles tried to springboard off the barricade, but Nakamura kicked him in the knee. Nakamura used a Kinshasa off the middle rope for a near fall and a landslide for another near fall. Speaking of landslide, you're going to see Stevie Nicks. Nakamura brought in a chair, but Styles decked him. Nakamura hit a high kick and a reverse power slam on the chair for a near fall. Nakamura went for the Kinshasa, but Styles threw a chair at his knee, and the chair bounced off Nakamura's knee and hit Styles in the cheekbone.
And busted him open.
Opened up the left side of his face. Styles was bleeding badly. Nakamura got in the calf crusher. Nakamura reversed into a triangle. Styles hit a sliding forearm to the back of the head, and a word that I've never seen in my life, an Ushigoroshi.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say that right?
I have no idea. I don't even know what that is.
Well, he did it for a near fall, and Nakamura,
I bet Dominic knows what it is.
He definitely does. Styles came back with a low blow of his own, and they traded shots and both kicked the other low, and both went down. The ref counted to 10, and neither got up. 3.25 stars.
Oh,
this finish is
that
something,
finish.
Dog. What's a no contest in a no DQ match? Did you book yourself in a corner here?
It's called a creative liberty. The Mario Brothers dinosaur. Yeah. The Ushigoro.
Oh, Yurigoshi. No, that's Yoshi. That's Yoshi.
Oh, my bad. A Goshi-Jora.
What? I'll just leave it at creative liberty. I mean, you did something. I mean, you tried it.
Yeah, you did something. And it look, now that I'm going through this show with you, I totally realize why the Observer hates it so much. I'm being reminded as we walk along this journey. Well, that's why. Well,
here we go. Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman's beat KO and Sami Zayn in 8 minutes. The crowd wasn't much into it. They were yelling. They were out there with vertical suplexes, but in the end, Strowman picked up Owens and Zayn wouldn't save him, so Owens got power slammed. Zayn went to leave, but Strowman ran after him, threw him into the ring, and power slammed him, and that got no reaction. 1.5 stars. Zayn wanted to run away the whole time and leave Owens. 5 years later, by the way, look at the top of the card in the WWE, and all these guys are still there.
Yeah, still there.
If you look at it on paper, all 4 of these dudes in the ring should work, and the crowd just didn't get into it here.
Yeah. I don't.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't know why, and sometimes things. Look, the Observer or the Torch or whoever said this was maybe onto something. Maybe that promo did take the energy out of the crowd, and it was hard to get them back. The next match was a match that it was 2 baby faces, and you just got a clean finish. It was like, wait, what?
Now
and
it's
now you know what I mean? It kind of just things just kind of like, wait, what's going on here? And it just kind of got weird and never got. It never got straight again, I guess.
Roman Reigns beat Samoa Joe at 18 minutes. A lot going on here. Tons of people were leaving. Others were chanting, "This is boring." And also, of course, the obligatory CM Punk chant broke out at one time.
Good.
Joe got the choke, but Reigns was out with a front rolling cradle. Hit a Superman punch for a near fall. This led to a Rusev Day chant. So we've got all kind of chants going on. Good. Reigns hit the spear, but Joe got his foot on the ropes. He went for another spear, but Joe punched him and went for a choke. Then Joe got another choke, and Reigns made the ropes. Reigns then hit the spear got the pin, 1.5 stars. The crowd is pretty much revolted here, Dog, against Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe in the main event. Negative chants. People are leaving early. It was probably, this is what the Observer says, probably the single clearest protest to date against Roman Reigns, as the usual heavy booing in the New York market for years just made him come across as a major star. The match itself wasn't bad, and the layout probably would have worked if it wasn't already past 11 p.m., and the prior part of the card hadn't sucked, and it was 2 other guys in the ring. But a long neck lock, this is from the Observer, but a long neck lock and a chin lock sequence by Joe early on led to people leaving in droves. When Reigns finally got the pin, they immediately switched to a crowd shot, trying to show people cheering, and instead, it was people walking out. By the way, we're still dealing with people being mad at Reigns 5 years later.
Yeah,
That's the funny part. Is this the time when everybody went, hey, maybe he should turn heel?
Probably not. Probably everybody but Vince, because Vince's timing is more on point than everybody else's. The minute you start feeling like, oh, he's a heel, it's like, no, wait a second, it'll heat up worse. So two things here, quick, because we do got to get out of here. We got somewhere to be.
Yeah, we're gonna do questions and get out of here.
So two things. You don't protest a wrestling company by buying tickets to their venue and then walking out during the last match. That's not, I mean, yeah, we saw you leaving, and kudos to you for standing up to your smart mark friends on the interweb, but you bought the ticket. So good on you, mate. Good on you. Thanks. You know what? Next time, buy the ticket and don't even show up. Then we can move some people that appreciate it down front. 2, imagine Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe today. Any venue in the world.
Let's go.
And so horrible, so poorly written. So who cares? It's a moment in time, and it dissipates and disappears. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get mad, but I do. It's so judgmental and negative always. Like, I don't know, man. Just watch wrestling. Wrestling's fun to me.
Dog, before we get to some fan questions, you got to tell everybody about Fight Plus, our friends over here at Ad Free Shows, and everyone here at OU Didn't Know. They are the ultimate digital platform for live sports and entertainment, and they're now offering a free 7-day trial at tryfite.com. That's TRYFITE.com. Fight Plus is packed with premium live events schedule, over 1,000 hours of live action every single year, a library of over 4,000 hours on demand, plus exclusive content. Fight is a great partners of ours. They support us, so let's support them. Give that free 7-day trial a try, and you'll be a member for life. That's tryfite.com. TRYFITE.com.
Fight Plus, 7-day free trial. If you don't like it, suck it.
Hey, I appreciate any product or service that goes, just try it.
That's
if you
all.
don't like it, you're done. But that shows bravery and goes, we're pretty sure you're going to like it.
Yeah, that shows confidence.
And even if you're that guy that wants it to cancel it, go do it. Go to tryfight.com.
Yeah, do it, because you're still going to watch a ton of fighting.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the fan questions, Dog. Yambag Jones starting us off today.
I love it.
He said, not really a question. I just want to hear Casio say Kinshasa a few more times. It always pops me. Well, he got it in this breakdown.
He got it in this broadcast today, didn't he? Bless your heart. I don't know what it's called either. We're going to have to look up that Yurganagi, Yoshi.
I'll tell you this, I Googled it, and it was pixelated, so I don't think we're supposed to see it.
Okay. Well, I mean, half of him was.
The Uragashi was. Instagram, a wrestling historian, he hit us. By the way, his handle is @Let's Go Back to WCW. But he says, did you try to get Brock Lesnar to defend the title on this pay-per-view, or was it out of the question? Thanks in advance, Dog.
Yeah, it was out of the question. Look, Brock has dates, and he's got those dates, and a lot of the top stars have this kind of schedule now where you have certain dates. These are the dates I make, and I don't make the backlashes of the world. I make the WrestleManias or the Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? I make one of the big four. So different contracts. So, yeah, it was never a question whether we could have him on this show or not.
At WWE Master 2018, Dog, how frustrated would Vince was when the fans left the building early or during the show, or does he even care?
Look, truth be told, it bothered me. I don't know if it bothers him personally. I can't imagine from a businessman's point of view, which is how I try to look at it, but my personal feelings get in the way all the time. But like, it's the first thing I said was, you paid your money. Like, you paid, you can do, and John Cena used to say that the best. You paid your money. You can do anything you want to when you come in here. I mean, within reason.
Yeah.
You can leave. You can chant this thing. You can chant that thing. You can do whatever you want. Turn your back. But we got your money.
Yeah. We've already got that part.
And that's what we were shooting for.
Yeah. That was the goal, was to sell out the venue and to get pay-per-views, and we did that.
And mission accomplished.
The real Thick Shady hit us up.
Ooh.
He said, since you wrestled or sports entertained on some of the original Attitude Era Backlash shows, was there ever a push to bring back the classic stage setup from then during your time as head writer on SmackDown or any of the other classic pay-per-view stages?
No, it's, once they... The biggest cost that people don't realize is traveling the trucks and the production, all the production elements and all that stuff. And those stages took several, if not a dozen trucks, you know what I mean, to haul that stuff. And man, that's so expensive nowadays. So yeah, even back then we weren't talking about that. We were trying to create a sleeker, more cheaper version. So, but it's definitely not a cheaper version now. That those stages and those video walls are incredible. But yeah, no, they stopped doing those way back when. So yeah, that's that. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to read this just because somebody sent it in, and you can respond accordingly on how you want to. Dominic Melchiori. I hope that's not Dominic, our producer, trying to stir the pot, but I believe it is a listener over at Ad Free Shows. Dominic says, Dog, Dax has now announced he's canceling his podcast due to fan harassment. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. He called him some names. We're not in the name-calling business.
Nope.
But just your thoughts on Dax no longer having a podcast.
He sent it in. Look, so for one thing, I'll just say, because of fan harassment, like that's the fans nowadays. Like, there's not a fandom anymore. It's harassment. Like, that's what it is. Go on Twitter. You know what I mean? If you ain't used to fan harassment. My second thing is, and this is more importantly, I should have said this first, I totally get that. Yeah. Like, there was nothing that wanted to make me quit writing SmackDown more than going on Twitter and seeing fans, I call them, saying the things to me and saying, they wish I was fired and somebody should take me out in the street and shoot me. And like, man, it gets bad and it gets hard to take.
He's also in a different spot where he is still in that locker room on a weekly basis, 100%. And he's talking about the business he's in, and it's a different place than where you're still in the business, of course. We know that, but
not in the locker room. Spot. It's a lot different spot. And you know what? It's if I was still active in the game, I probably wouldn't be doing this either. You know what I mean?
Well, and again, you've said it before on the show, and probably the last time we talked about it. And I doubt it'll be the last time again this time. But you said before you wanted to move on, and you would love to talk it out through him, and that did not happen yet. But you've said, as far as you're concerned, we've moved on. So, yes, wish him the best of luck as a human being.
For sure. And he got to work with old Jeff Jarrett the other day on TV, I saw.
I was saying, no two guys have I had more heat with getting the ring together than them two right there. I was hoping for the ring to cave in. Fan harassment was a good word going through my mind watching that.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Bobby KF5GTX said, Dog, I really enjoy your podcast every week. The Top Dog segments are great, and I love the Thankful Minute as well. It's a very positive part of your podcast. When you left one promotion for another, did you have an idea of what you wanted to make each time?
I think he's talking about monetarily, but no, I was never blessed to have it that way. I had it good, but I didn't have it where I could state my number. You know what I mean? And so that's when you get FU money, I'm told. I never got that. I just got keep your lights on and keep your baby's diapers dry money. So yeah, I know I didn't get to call my shot dollar-wise, that's for sure.
All right, Dog, we are going to get into those aforementioned segments right now.
Okay.
We've got Top Dog, where we give you 3 sports entertainers. You tell us, are you a better sports entertainer than 3 individuals?
All right.
Here we go. Are you a better sports entertainer than Pat Patterson?
Oh, no. No.
Really?
No.
Okay.
Pat Patterson was great. Go back and watch some of Pat Patterson's matches. Pat was great.
First IC title, right?
Yeah, he's the best.
And by the way, luckily enough to do a karaoke show with him before, and it's one of the greatest nights of my life.
Yeah, because he did it my way.
Oh, yeah. And here we go. Number 2. Were you a better sports entertainer than Burt Reynolds?
Yes.
Is that you and him?
That's me and him right there.
Yeah.
I had just had my hair done. And so
That's you
Bert,
when you take your braid
and
wig
apparently
off.
Bert had just had his toupee done. And so, yes, my hair is better and I'm a better sports entertainer, but not better at driving interference for like 400 cases of Coors beer from Texarkana to Atlanta.
Have you ever won a cannonball run in your life?
Never.
Okay.
And he has twice.
Yep. There you go. And last but not least, are you a better sports entertainer than Chucky?
Yes.
Is that him with Braun Breaker?
That's Braun Breaker and
Look
Chucky,
at that.
dog. They did a big deal when that show butted up against NXT. So we had
Incredible.
Chucky there a couple times.
Incredible.
Yeah, and I'm better than him.
Facts.
Chucky,
2-1 today.
Chucky's sucky.
We had to get Pat Patterson in to get you an L, but we did pad your stats
I love
by
it.
giving
I'll
you 2
take that
easy
L.
W's.
I'll take that L every time.
Speaking of W's, ad-free shows is the W. Before we get out of here, make sure you see what they're going on there. Ad-free shows, they're doing super cool things starting at just $9.
$9.
Premium watch-along events. Dog, me and you just did a live Q&A over on ad-free shows. So
Yes,
you've
we
got
did.
to be able to get in on this ad-free shows. Go check it out right now at adfreeshows.com. If you want to advertise us, you want us to be talking about and bragging about your product or event or whatever you've got
Or
going
just
on.
you. We'll just talk you up.
We literally will talk about you if you
Yeah.
need us to. Go to Advertise with Dog. That's DOGG. AdvertiseWithDog.com. Find out more about advertising with us over here at You Didn't Know. Follow us on social media.
I love the way you look at me.
Dreamy. It's dreamy. I'm looking at you, dreamy. And before we get out of here, a couple things. Follow us on social media. You can see our handles if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe. You'll get those notifications. And Dog.
Yeah. Oh,
we're going to do the Thankful Minute in just a second. We're going to end with that. But don't forget, we've got the merchandise at boxofgimmicks.com. What are we debuting on this episode? Boom, the Mountain Critter Beach Towel. Look at that.
That's Jesse James Armstrong right there. We spoke about him earlier.
Wait, look, you got biscuits at the beach, son.
Who doesn't? Oh, you didn't? Look, this was USWA. My kick pads didn't even have covering on them. They were just white kick pads.
You're doing your like Burt Reynolds Playgirls.
This is what I was. This is Burt. This is where I came out in front of Burt. Here was I sold more Playgirls than he did. That's not true.
You can get that over at boxofgimmicks.com. You'll be looking fly on the beach right there.
With that towel right there, I tell you what, I lay right in between them two critters. Woo.
I better see some pictures of some dudes in some banana hammocks laying on a mountain critter beach towel.
There needs to be some photos.
Yeah, there needs to be.
I mean,
get those and tag us in them.
Don't be silly. I want to see them. I want to be able to show them on.
That's what I mean. Tag us in them. Put us on social media, please.
Yeah, with the towel.
All right, let's get out of here with the Thankful Minute, Dog. And that's where we put up 60 seconds on the clock. And you tell us something you are thankful for, anything it is in your life. 60 seconds on the clock, please. The floor is yours, Dog.
Yep. Thank you. So as soon as you say it, I start thinking. You know, I can think of a million things I'm thankful for, but it was very specific that I was born to my mother and father. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful that I was brought into the world with them as my gatekeepers. I learned a lot from my dad, very thankful for my father because I learned so much from him. And look, some of it was what not to do or what you shouldn't do. And I had to find out the hard way. But he was always honest with me and always told me the truth about this industry, told me the truth about, what he knew of relationships with women and what, he grew up and I grew up, and I'm thankful that I got to have the mother and the father that I had. They taught me everything I need to know to be a good person. Then I just got to decide when I wake up every morning that that's the person I'm going to be. So I'm thankful for my mom and I'm thankful for my dad.
You didn't even bring in your brother on his birthday.
Well, I'm thankful for him too. But I meant my family. Man, you made me feel bad now. Happy birthday, Scotty. I love you.
Happy birthday, Scotty.
I love you.
By the way, go back and watch in the archives. Road
Oh, yeah,
Dogg
when
and
Scotty
Ryan
was
Katz
on.
talking to Scott. Great episode
Yeah.
early on. So go find that on our YouTube channel. You can find it. Dog,
Yeah.
fun one today.
Always.
And look forward to talking to you next week. It's always the highlight of my week, brother.
None
And from
too.
one mountain
Thank
critter
you.
to another. Love you, man.
Amen.
And if you didn't like this
if you
show
didn't like
today,
this show today, then I got 2 words for you. Suck it.